Alright, so I thought it was time to do an update since I've done a few things since my last video. This is it's a shot of the existing flood and drain. Everything's going very well in here. So well, in fact, that I made another one. I replaced one of the old ice sculpture trays that I had been using that was on the timer and the drip system. So this is just a constant run flood and drain system with the bell siphon like the other one. These are just in 27-gallon heavy duty totes. Works very well. About 3 feet by 1 foot, about a foot tall. So hold a decent volume of media. Just got some lettuce and stuff. May or may not notice, I took down the nutrient film system. Upon further reading and a strange funk in the basement, I realized that drawing water directly from the pond into there worked basically as a settling tank for all the fish solids, which is no good because there's nothing in there to decompose them as far as worms go, and no media or root system really. They were just kind of sludging up the roots and stinking. So got rid of that, added the other ebb and flow bed, and we'll soon get rid of this tray here for yet another one. Just, eliminate a timer and have more grow bed depth at least. These things are only 8 inches deep at the most, so as far as biofiltration goes, these aren't that great at it. Everything grows in here well, it's just I'm not maximizing my area. That being said, it's on to the mushroom world. So first off, I'll just kind of show. I took this shelf out of the greenhouse. I'll show you what I replaced it with. I've got my buckets going down here. These are the King Oyster buckets with the holes, plastic bag lined. I've been colonizing now for just over, I don't know, what's today, the 18th? It's about 13 days. I'll show you the clear bag so you can kind of see how far along that thing is colonized. So basically I'm just going to turn this into a colonizing area. I'm probably going to get some blue foam board, maybe one more of these shelves, and kind of repurpose this space back here in my basement. More colonization room, since that's much more space required for colonizing than fruiting if you're on a good cycle. So I'll show you what I have colonizing right now. This is just an old cabinet. I'm sure I've shown you this. Okay. So these are the 5 bags of straw that I had with the gray oyster that I cultured from a wild spore that I harvested last fall. Each one of these bags is about 6.5, 7.5 pounds. They each have half a quart of rye, and they are fully colonized now. I'm just going to give them maybe another day or two before I put them in fruiting. I might let some of them start pinning in here just to see the difference, and then put some in fruiting soon. But all 5 bags are pretty much finished. Originally these were the large gusseted filter patch bags, and then upon further study and people's advice, filter patch bags are not the way to go for straw. I was filling them up too far. The substrate was hitting the filter, contaminating or drying out. So I basically just wound these things up real tight, packed them down. This is the filter up top here, so it's pretty much obsolete right now. I've poked small holes throughout the bag for a fresh air exchange. So that's where I was with that. Let's see if I can this back here. This is the bag, again a filter patch bag that I've modified with a piece of Gorilla Tape and then punctured holes all over it. This was the same batch that I did as the bucket, so this is kind of my my test batch, something I'm familiar with as far as bags, and I can also see the progress, hoping that it's the same progress being made in the buckets. This bag is about 3 pounds less substrate, so the buckets may take a little bit longer, but at least I can kind of get a gauge as far as how fast these are colonizing. This thing's maybe 75% colonized now, which isn't bad. My basement stays at about, I don't know, 65, might drop to about 60 at night, so not too bad. This is my jar of maitake, hen of the woods. It's about 3/4 of the way colonized. You can kind of see the difference in the strata here. This is the dry sawdust at the bottom. It's kind of eating its way down. See some of the mycelia on top. This is just pasteurized oak wood pellets. So from this, I'm going to use this as a grain to grain. So I'll spawn more sawdust after this. I might sterilize some supplemented sawdust and do a bag to grow out, but I want to inoculate some logs and stuff outdoors, so I'm going to probably spread that out as far as I can grow it. This is another little project that I'm doing. This is just a plastic tub that I get from work, but these are portobellos that I've got going. So this was inoculated on the 11th. It's 3 quarts of composted cow manure, 2 cups of vermiculite, 2 cups of rabbit food, which is alfalfa based, half a cup of gypsum, and a quart of rye spawn. Just got a couple holes poked in the top here. So just, I don't know if it shows up, but that's all the grain spawn. It's in layers. Everything on top looks like it's growing out pretty good. So we'll see how this goes. We'll take a quick look in the. So I have this box fan here, and then I just put a couple slits in here to draw out some of the air, help out with my fresh air exchange. Got the cool mist down here, little plastic catch tray. And then I switched to these black vinyl coated metal racks. Hopefully they don't rust out. This is the third flush of some elm oysters. Let's see if it actually does anything. These here are pasteurized oak sawdust pellets and bran. It's about a 5-to-1 ratio. And these are also the wild oysters that I cultivated. They moved much faster on the sawdust. But you can see all the little knobby clusters. They're pretty cool. These things actually move a lot slower than the elm oysters. I don't know if that's typical or what, but really dense, nice looking clusters. And here's my king oysters. Poor guy took a beating when I was reworking the shelves yesterday. Decent size. These are so meaty. A couple other ones over here. Again, a little nick on them. That's it for now.